All right, let's talk about the date object. Now, the date object, you can use it with the new keyword, or you can use it without the new keyword. And we'll talk about what the differences are. Okay, so right now I'm using it with the new keyword. There's no argument so far. If I console.log this, you're going to see that we get the current date and year, right? And also all of this. Cool, right? Now, what if we just want this part? We want to extract out Thursday, March 30th, 2023. Can we just do current date dot, let's do dot split, and then we're going to split by the spaces. See, it says current date dot split is not a function. And this is because when you're using new, it always constructs an object. And objects do not have the dot split, right? Even though when you console.log it, it looks just like a string, but it's not a string. Yeah. So if you want to use new date objects as a string, remember you can do dot toString like this. And then now, if we do dot split with a space, we can see that it works. Okay. Now, if you don't use toString, it doesn't work. But if you take away the new keyword, let's see if it works. It works. So if you use capital date without the new keyword, you're using it as a function. Okay? And when you're using it as a function, it will just return the current time as a string. If you use the new keyword, it will wrap it in an object wrapper. Okay? And if you do have an object, you will need to toString it if you want to use the string. Okay? And then let's say if we want to extract from here to here, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And then we can do dot slice starting from index 0 all the way to index 4. Okay. And then now we would have the current date. Okay. Now we're going to learn how to use this. So let's go back. So how do we get the AM, PM time from this for us Americans? Like right now, instead of 15:36, it should say 3:36 p.m. How can we get that to work? And for that, we're going to need to learn some methods that lives on the prototype of the date constructor. Okay, let me show you some of these methods right here. I would just paste in some code. So you see here, whenever we create new date with the new keyword, there's methods on this object's constructor, right? Like get full year, get month. Get month returns a 0, right? So 0 stands for January. Get day, 0 stands for Sunday, and so on. And then I put everything in an object, then I console.log it. So if we look on the right, see, we have the current year, current month. It's March, but since it's 0 of indexed, it's only 2. Yeah. So if we wanted to have the right month, let's just do +1. Right? And then day should be +1 too. Okay, so now it says March. Cool, right? Okay, but how do we get it into this format that we want, like 5:03 p.m.? Because right now, if you look at the hours, it's 15, because by default, JavaScript returns a date in the 24-hour format, not the 12 that we want. Now, I also wanted to show you that if we don't have the keyword right here, if we don't have new, none of this is going to work, right? Because remember, without the new keyword, it just returns a string format of the date. We need the date object. So then we can borrow these methods from the date constructors prototype, right? Much like how we borrow array methods like map and reduce from the array constructors prototype. So please don't forget you need the new keyword, okay? Now, let's talk about how we can get our result. Okay, here's what we want. So I'm going to paste this in. If you look at our final answer, it says the time is 16:13 a.m. p.m. 2023. What we want is that for it to say something in this format, right? With the PM, AM formatted correctly and the 0 before the minutes if it's less than 10, like right here. Okay, so let's take this one step at a time. Change from 24-hour format to 12-hour format. Okay, so right now it is 4 p.m., but it says it's 16, right? So how do we convert from 24-hour to 12? Well, you can just say if. So we're doing hours. If current hour is greater than 12, right? What are we going to change it to? Well, we can just do current hour is minus equal. So it's going to be equal to itself minus 12. Okay. So now you see that it's 4 p.m. So how do we know if it's a.m. or p.m.? Well, let me do a const right here. Let's do the const before we change it. Const a.m. Let's do a.m. or p.m. And we're going to do a ternary right here. So you're going to say if the hour is greater than or equal to 12, so you can say current hour greater than or equal to 12. If so, this variable is going to be PM. And if not, it's going to be AM. Okay. Now, this works even before we change it to AM PM format. Okay, because AM PM is dependent on the 24-hour format anyways. Okay, so now we have that and we have the AM PM. Let's see now what do we need to do? How do we do the minutes correctly? But before that here, I'm just going to put in AM, PM. AM or PM. Okay, so now we get 4:15 p.m. 2023. Awesome, right? Now, let me change this 15 to like a 3. So I'm just going to do current minutes. I'm just going to set it equal to 3. Okay, now we want 03 in front of it. How can we do that? Well, you can just say if current minutes is less than 10, current minutes will be what? Will be equal to the string 0 plus current minutes. Let's see if this works. Hey, cool, right? And then I'm just going to add a colon right here and move this back. See, our time is formatted pretty nice. But why does this work right here? Well, it's because of string concatenation, right? Whenever in JavaScript, if you have a string and you add a number to it, your result will become a string, right? If you do 1 plus 5, you don't get 6, you get a string of 15. Okay? So when the minutes is less than 10, let's say it's 9, it's going to have a 0 added to it. Then it becomes 09. Cool, huh? So this is a great way to leverage string concatenation. Now, I want to remind you guys that we don't have to use new date just to get the current date. If we look at this, we can also use new date to construct our customized date object. Okay? So let's say, hey, I want to create a new date object where the arguments go like this. So the first argument, if you put any, will be the year that you want it to be. Let's say I was born 1989. That's going to be the year, right? And then the month index, if you put 0, it would be January, right? So let's do 0, January. The day means, hey, what day is it in this current month? It can be the 0th day, the first day, whatever you want. Let's do the 10th day. Hour, let's say it's 6. Remember 6 means 6 a.m. Minutes, let's do 4 minutes. And then let's do 13 seconds. So if you look at our console.log now, see, it formatted itself correctly, 04. If we change this to 14 minutes, it formats itself correctly too, right? And then even if you want to put in the seconds, you can do right here, you can do current date dot get seconds. And then I'm going to put an S right here. See, 6 a.m., 14 minutes, and currently 13 seconds. And the year is 1989. If we change this, see, cool, huh? So that's all about dates. Remember, this is just the very, very, very basic stuff.